What's going on, producers? Today's video, we're going to talk about how to practice less and get more piano gains so that you don't have to spend hours slaving away behind the keys. And these are the exact things that I do to just practice 3 times a week and still make dramatic, lasting improvement over time. Fair warning, these tips are incredibly simple, but what I found is that the most profundity is always grounded in simplicity. And lastly, before we dive deep, what you're about to watch is actually clipped from one of the live coaching calls that I have inside of my private Piano4Producers Academy. One of our producers, Alan, asked me a question about practice, and this was the answer. So if you would like personal guidance and mentorship like this, and you'd like to be live on the Zoom call, go ahead and click the link in the description below and join the Piano4Producers Academy today so you can have direct access to me, live coaching sessions, along with all my courses at your disposal 24/7. That said, let's get into it. What I always find to make a practice session incredibly powerful, front load the difficult stuff. So let's say I'm good on everything, but like A flat and D flat are giving me trouble. Like as soon as I get my warm up in, boom, I'm feeling good, 2 minutes, whatever. I'm like, okay, great. Obviously, you're not going to go through it that fast because those are the ones that are giving you some trouble. But I find when you front load it, you're doing yourself a favor, because if you were to go through C, D, E, blah, 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 all of them, and then leave the last 2 for the end, you have less mental bandwidth than you do at the beginning of your practice. And then what you can do is at the end, once you've gone through some stuff, you can use your last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just for review. And for me, my review sessions, I like to do whatever I'm feeling like. Whatever I'm feeling like reviewing. It's like review/fun for me. So like if I've learned some melodies recently and I want to review them, or if I learned this chord progression, or if I learned this song, you know, I really want it to stick and maybe I haven't played it for a little bit, I'll go through that. Even if I can play it well, just reviewing it, I'm gonna find different ways of going about the same thing. And so I like to do that at the end of the practice session, but I also like to do it like every 3 weeks or so. Just kind of whenever I'm feeling it. I'll take a whole session and just review stuff. And I'll always find new ways of going about it, because I've learned over the past 3 weeks, I could take the old to inform the new, and the new to inform the old. So 2 key takeaways with that little rant. Be mindful when you're practicing. It's the best thing you could do. You get so much more. You could get so much done in 10 to 15 minutes. If you actually focus, and you don't go on Instagram, and you don't go put moisturizer on your face, or whatever you do. Like just sit there and do the thing. It's kind of like meditation. You know, I don't know if any of you guys practice meditation, but one of the techniques involved in meditation is mindfulness meditation. It's one of the most famous ones, where you sit there and you focus on the breath. Before you know it, you're thinking about something, and then you come back to the breath. You get lost in thought, and then you have to come back, and then you have to come back. And people think, oh, I'm doing it wrong. No, that is the practice. To catch yourself being unaware, and then you become aware again. No, I wanted to focus on the breath. That's the hardest thing in the world to do. It's just to keep your focus on the thing you were trying to focus on. If you've never tried it, it's insanely difficult, and it's so rewarding. And obviously, the more you do it, the better you get it. But that's what practice is. Like when I'm doing this, I want to be thinking about this hand. And then before you know it, I'm like, do I want pepperoni on my pizza or do I want sausage? Oh wait, I'm doing the hand. And so as you're practicing your chord progression, your scale, when you catch yourself thinking about Subway, bring yourself back to what you're working on. And you're going to notice just within 10-15 minutes, that happens like 90 times. And front load the difficult stuff. Do the difficult stuff first. And this is how, when I just practice 3 or 4 times a week, which is how I'm doing now, more closer to 3 on average for the past month, I would say. This is how I'm still able to make gains, because I do the hard stuff first. Oftentimes, I don't even do the easy stuff. So I'm just like sounding like shit all the time. when I come to practice, I sound like shit until I don't, because I've got that thing down. And then I can put that in the bag and replace that with the next thing that I need to work on. Just to round this out and make it a nice 3-peat, do it until you got it, replace. And it's just this rinse and repeat cycle. And that will go on forever.
Forever, ever, forever, ever.
Literally your entire life. Right now, maybe that thing is the A flat major scale. Right now, maybe that thing is the triads. Right now, maybe that thing is the 7th chords. Right now, maybe that thing is like, you know, a progression from D'Angelo or something. Whatever that thing is, do it until you got it, however long it takes. Sometimes it'll take you 3 days. Sometimes it'll take you 45 minutes. Sometimes it'll take you 3 weeks. Stick with it until you can do it, until you don't mess it up, and then replace that with the next thing and continue that cycle.